Jahr, in dem ich die Betroffene nachweislich zu diesem Zeitpunkt nicht ein einziges Mal auch nur namentlich erwähnt hatte. So macht man Täter-Opfer-Umkehr auf einem ganz anderen Niveau. Im Frühling 2024 erwirkte ich durch eine einstweilige Verfügung, dass Tobias Hoch diese Aussagen untersagt wurden. Ich habe das zu 100% gewonnen vor Gericht. Dieser Typ lügt so schamlos, dass er sogar vor Gericht noch versucht hat zu behaupten, ich hätte eine Kampagne mit Dutzenden Inhalten gegen sie geführt, konnte aber keinen einzigen dieser angeblichen Videoschnitte dazu einreichen, weil es diese nicht gibt. Und hat stattdessen 3 Videos, 2 vom gleichen Creator, die Shoyoka Hate Content machen, eingereicht.
Shoyoka Hate Content.
Alle 3 den exakt selben Clip von 2022 gezeigt haben, um das Gericht zu täuschen. Und so zu tun, als gäbe es mehr als einen Videoausschnitt dazu. Das ist kein Witz.
Ja, also ich wette, dass der Kontext da auf jeden Fall anders gewesen ist. Vielleicht wollte man einfach beweisen, dass dieser Clip viral gegangen ist und von mehreren Leuten aufgearbeitet worden ist oder so. Das weiß ich natürlich nicht. Wie gesagt, das sind halt alles Sachen. Ich meine, jetzt erzählt sie ihre Erzählungen, wie das vor Gericht gelaufen ist. Auch da kann ich halt nichts zu sagen, weil ich war halt nicht dabei. Ne?
Sie haben 3 Videos von unterschiedlichen Shoyoka-Archivkanälen eingereicht, um quasi die Dynamik zu zeigen von mehreren Videos von Shoyoka gegen der Equalist. Und in jedem dieser 3 Videos waren die gleichen 60 Sekunden aus dem Jahr 2022 zu sehen, weil es halt von mir keine anderen Clips gab, wo ich über der Equalist geredet habe. Und weil er halt nichts anderes machen konnte, um seine Lüge mit der monatelangen Kampagne zu stützen, hat er einfach den gleichen Clip 3-mal eingereicht. Und hat gehofft, dass dem Gericht nicht auffällt, dass es der gleiche Clip ist. Und nicht 3...
Wahrscheinlich hat Tobias Hoch und sein Anwalt das gehofft. Ja, vielleicht sind die ja so dumm und sehen nicht, dass die 3-mal das exakt gleiche sind. Ey, komm, Shoyoka, halt's Maul. Also, weißt du, das ist halt wieder, das ist so eine Unterstellung, wo man sich wirklich die Frage stellen muss. Ey, jetzt mal ganz ehrlich, das macht ja gar keinen Sinn. Ja, also wir zeigen 3-mal hintereinander genau dasselbe. Vielleicht fällt's nicht auf, vielleicht haben wir Glück, ja, bestimmt, Digga.
Unterschiedliche Videos.
Komm, ey.
Und dass die Videos obendrein nicht von mir sind, sondern von anderen Creatoren. Also es ist wirklich, es ist so peinlich. Es ist kein Witz. Das ist das Level, mit dem er und sein Anwalt vor Gericht arbeiten. Trotz der Niederlage in diesem Verfahren zwang mich Tobias Hoch in die nächste Instanz. Zu einer mündlichen Verhandlung, wo sein...
Zwang. Also man muss mal überlegen, sie geht dagegen vor, gewinnt, das ist ja kein Zwang, sie hätte ja gar nicht erst dagegen vorgehen müssen. Es ist ja einfach sein Recht, auch eine Instanz weiterzugehen. Ich überlege gerade, ist Shoyoka schon mal eine Instanz weitergegangen? Nee, weil ich wäre auch kaum gegen sie vorgegangen. Und diese, wie heißt denn das? Ich bin ja mal gegen ihre einstweilige Verfügung vorgegangen. Da habe ich ja auch vor Gericht, also nicht gewonnen, sie hat halt zurückgezogen einfach, ne? Aber es ist doch sein Recht, dagegen vorzugehen. Was hat das denn mit Zwang zu tun? Also dann hast du mich ja auch schon sehr oft vor Gericht gezwungen mit irgendwelchen Abmahnungen, dass ich gezwungen war, irgendwie selber einen Anwalt einzuschalten. Ja, gegen Skurrus zum Beispiel. So, dass du Skurrus dann auch gezwungen, in Instanz weiterzugehen oder was? Also warum ist das jetzt, also, weißt du, da wird es so als Zwang hingestellt. So, aber ich wette, über ihre eigenen Fälle redet sie ganz
Anwalt
anders.
Dr. Sarafi dann ein manipuliertes und bearbeitetes Video einreichte, um mir rückwirkend eine niedere Motivation und Billigung von Anfeindungen und Beleidigungen gegen eine Jüdin anzudichten. Auch das, no fucking joke.
Ja, zurückgezogen an sich ist es ein Sieg, die Kosten wurden aber tatsächlich geteilt, was ich auch nicht verstehe. Also sie schickt mir eine Abmahnung, ich will vor Gericht sicher gehen, dass ich das noch sagen darf. Und das Gericht sagt, gut, sie hat aufgegeben, dann machen wir mal Hälfte, Hälfte, ne?
Aussagen von mir aus 22 so präsentiert, dass es wirkte, als wären sie nach Geschehnissen aus 2023 passiert und in direkter Reaktion darauf absichtlich getätigt worden. Das heißt, er hat einen Clip von mir aus 2022.
Ja, das überspringen wir mal, weil, also das mit der Equalist, ich bin in dem Thema gar nicht mehr drin. Die erzählt da irgendwas, was in Gerichten passiert sein muss oder was in Gerichten passiert sein soll. Ich kann dazu halt nichts sagen. Ich war im Gerichtsprozess nicht dabei. Wir überspringen das mal.
Das ist tatsächlich abgeschlossen. Da sind alle Rechtsmittel aufgebraucht. Er kann da nicht nochmal in Berufung gehen und das Thema ist damit durch. Der Schaden, der daraus resultierte, ist nach wie vor im Internet zu finden. Ich müsste gegen jeden der Influencer, die diese Lüge weiter verbreiten, einzeln vorgehen.
Ach,
es
echt?
gibt immer noch hunderte Videos, die diese ekelige Lüge über mich verbreiten und mich als Monster fantasieren, um damit Geld zu verdienen. Was übrigens ein weiterer Grund dafür ist, warum es ein Discord gibt, auf dem ich Videos archiviere und dokumentiere, weil ich zwar nicht gegen jeden einzelnen Influencer, der sich daran beteiligt, Gerichtsprozesse führe, aber es mir nicht nehmen lasse, zu dokumentieren und Journalisten aufzuzeigen und vorzuzeigen, wie die Lügen von einem Influencer die Runde machen und bei 20 anderen landen und jeder einzelne von denen damit Geld verdient.
Ja, Shiok, aber das ist doch in deiner Bubble auch genauso, dass uns irgendwelche Sachen vorgeworfen werden von dir, die einfach nicht stimmen oder wo der Kontext weggelassen wird und keine Ahnung, dann sagt das von mir aus eine Lilly-Schote oder sowas halt auch. So, ja, man reagiert halt gegenseitig auf die Videos und dann sind da diese Aussagen halt drin. Also wie gesagt, du kannst gerne, wenn ich das noch irgendwo drin haben sollte, ich weiß es nicht, kannst du mir das gerne schicken, dann nehme ich das offline. Dann hast du weniger Stress, als wenn du da, keine Ahnung, wieder irgendeinen Anwalt schickst oder so, weiß ich nicht. Vor allem, sie müsste das ja trotzdem nochmal auch gegen mich gewinnen. Das ist, also sie kann ja kein Ordnungsgeld gegen mich oder sowas verlangen. Ne, sie müsste ja wirklich nochmal richtig vor Gericht gehen. Deswegen, und da stelle ich mir auch die Frage, also du hast diesen Discord-Server seit 2 Jahren. Die Sache ist seit 2024 beendet, also seit 1,5 Jahren oder maximal über ein halbes Jahr. Es hat sich ja bisher gar nichts geändert. Also du bist ja gegen anscheinend keinen anderen Influencer, der das in seinen Videos hat, irgendwie vorgegangen. Also wozu dann dieser Discord? Also die nimmt immer irgendwelche Gründe, ja, das jetzt zum Beispiel wie da, ja, wir sammeln das, um dagegen vorzugehen, aber das ist seit 1,5 Jahren durch und du bist gegen keinen anderen Influencer, zumindest ist es mir nicht bekannt, vorgegangen. Hä? Also...
Ja, das werde ich auch weiter dokumentieren. Die Ausmaße gehen sogar so weit, dass Tobias Hoch Lüge in hunderten systematischen E-Mails seit 2023 an Organisationen, Parteien, Presse, Behörden und aktive rechtsextremistische Nazi-Terrorgruppen geschickt wird. Als judenhassende Hetzerin, die jüdische Mädchen suizidieren will, werde ich mit Klarnamen, gedoxter Adresse und Foto porträtiert und im Internet gejagt. Es sind so viele E-Mails, dass ich aufgehört habe, sie zu zählen.
Wird schon so sein. Ohne Belege glaube ich. Der Strafanstalt. Dankeschön für den Prime-Sub.
Das hat Tobias Huch mit seiner Lüge zu verantworten.
Ja, wahrscheinlich. Digga, du musst dir mal überlegen, Shioka labert seit 2,5 Jahren nur Bullshit im Internet. So wird dafür auch teilweise zu Recht kritisiert, teilweise wird es aber auch zu hart gehen. Klar, müssen wir nicht drüber reden, so. Sie ist eine Frau im Internet, natürlich kriegt die auch antifeministischen, misogynen Hass ab, so, 100%ig. Solche Fake-E-Mails und so weiter bekommen wir ja auch die ganze Zeit. So, ich blockiere die zwar immer, aber die machen sich gefühlt jeden Tag einfach einen neuen Account und du kannst dagegen eigentlich auch nichts machen. So, und du willst mir jetzt sagen, dass nur diese eine Sache dafür gesorgt hat, dass du diesen Hass abbekommst? Digga, Tobias Hoch hat jetzt nicht mal eine riesen Reichweite, ja? Also sorry, kein Front gegen Tobias Hoch, aber das ist jetzt auch kein Influencer, der irgendwie eine Million Reichweite oder sowas hat. Also ich weiß nicht, wie die auf die Aussage kommt, um ehrlich zu sein. Vielleicht liegt es ja auch generell an dem ganzen Quatsch, den du erzählst, und vielleicht sind auch nicht alles irgendwelche rechtsextremistischen Nazi-Terrorgruppen. Alter, das ist schon wirklich bodenlos, das so zu schreiben, Alter.
Die Lüge, die Tobias Huch hier in die Welt gesetzt hat, wird bis heute, über ein Jahr danach und nachdem dieser Prozess zu 100% von mir gewonnen wurde, nicht nur von Influencern, sondern von rechten Trollnetzwerken und Rechtsextremen weitergepusht. Ich werde gedoxt, mein Klarname wird gedoxt, meine Adresse wird gedoxt und diese Lüge wird in hunderten E-Mails...
Ich meine, es ist halt schon komisch, weil da sagt sie jetzt wieder, dass sie gedoxt worden ist. Ich weiß nicht, vielleicht hat einer zufällig den Clip, weil letztens erst hat sie gesagt, haha, die Hater, die sind so dumm, die kommen gar nicht an meine Adresse, weil die viel zu dumm dafür sind, an meine Sachen ranzukommen. Ja, also was denn jetzt? Adresse und Fotos und so weiter wurden jetzt gedoxt?
See, they're looking at right now. This is like wall record pace.
No, we're moving right now. Yeah, I'm very locked right now. Nice.
This is an incredibly profound breakthrough. This would be a fundamental change to what it means to be a human.
If they truly have a microchip in their brain, can move a cursor on a screen with a high degree of accuracy and precision, that would be like the coolest fucking thing in the world.
It is the first time that we're able to add a completely new mode of data transfer into and out of the brain.
A chip surgically implanted by a robot.
Damn, this is the coolest shit in the universe. This is actually super sick. Neuralink update.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Neuralink presentation. This is an update for the progress of the Neuralink team. It's been an incredible amount of progress. This is, we're going to start off high level, generally describing what Neuralink's doing, and then we're going to have a very deep technical dive so you can actually get an understanding of what exactly we're doing at a granular level and what we can do to enhance human capabilities and ultimately build a great future for humanity. So that's neuroinspiring. It's funny to think that me talking right now is a bunch of neurons firing that then result in speech. That you hear, of course, neurons fire in your brain.
That's fucking crazy.
Part of this presentation is about demystifying the brain. It is a remarkable organ. I mean, we are the brain, basically. When you say you, that really is you're the brain. Like you can get a heart transplant, you can get a kidney transplant, but I don't know anyone who's gotten a brain transplant. So you are your brain. And your experiences are these neurons firing with trillions of synapses that somehow lead to conscious comprehension of the world. This is something that we have only begun to understand. We're really just barely at the beginning of understanding of what is the nature of consciousness. And I thought a lot about what is consciousness? What is it? Where does consciousness arise? Because if you start at the beginning of the universe...
What does this have to do with Neuralink? Elon, please.
If physics is true, the standard model of physics is true, then you have this Big Bang, the matter condensing into stars, those stars exploding. A lot of the atoms that are in your body right now were once at the center of stars. Those stars exploded, recondensed. Fast forward 13.8 billion years, and here we are. And somewhere along that very long journey, to us at least, consciousness arose, or the molecules started talking to each other. And it begs the question of what is consciousness. Is everything conscious? Maybe. It's hard to say where along that line. There's no sort of discrete point where consciousness didn't exist and then suddenly does exist. It seems to be, maybe you have a condensation of matter that has a density of... We don't know what... The real answer is we don't know what consciousness is. But with Neuralink and the progress that the company's making, we'll begin to understand a lot more about consciousness. And what does it mean to be? Along the way, we're going to solve a lot of brain issues where the brains get injured or damaged in some way or didn't develop in quite the right way. There's a lot of brain and spine injuries that we'll solve along the way. And I do want to emphasize that this is all going to happen quite slowly, meaning you'll see it coming. Sometimes people think that suddenly there will be vast number.
They think that, like, what? Self-driving in a year?
Of Neuralinks all over the place. This is not going to be sudden. You'll be able to watch it happen, over the course of several years.
We'll probably finish it on Mars.
And we go through exhaustive regulatory approvals. So this is not something that we're just doing by ourselves without government oversight. We work closely with regulators every step of the way. We're very cautious with Neuralinks and humans. That's the reason we're not moving faster than we are, is because we're taking great care with each individual to make sure we never miss. And so far we haven't, and I hope that continues into the future. Every single one of our implants in humans is working, and working quite well. And you'll get to hear from some of the people that have received the implants and hear it in their words. So what we're creating here with a Neuralink device is a generalized input-output technology for the brain. So it's how do you get information into or out of the brain, and do so in a way that does not damage the brain or cause any negative side effects. So it's a very hard problem. And the reactions I've seen to this range from "it's impossible" to "it's already been done before." Those people should meet, actually. The reality is that there actually have been...
That was the first Neuralink demo. He flipped the switch to make them all laugh for 2 seconds.
In limited brain-to-computer interfaces for several decades on a very basic basis. Just what we're doing with Neuralink is dramatically increasing the bandwidth by many orders of magnitude. So a human bandwidth output is less than 1 bit per second over the course of a day. So there's 86,400 seconds in a day. It's very rare for a person to do more than 86,400 bits of output per day. You'd have to be really talking a lot or typing all day, and you might exceed that.
How are we defining bit here? What does that mean? Or... what? Can somebody explain? Words? How could you encode a word in less than a bit? What does that even...
So,
or is this something I don't understand here, or what?
What we're talking about here is going from maybe 1 bit per second to ultimately megabits and then gigabits per second. And the ability to do consensual telepathy. Now, the input to the brain is much higher, especially because of vision. Depending upon how you count it, it might be on the order of a megabit or in the megabit range for input primarily due to sight.
What does that mean? Certainly it must be higher than that, right? I have a 1 megabit per second. Like, it certainly must be higher, right? Are my eyes really that fucking horrible?
But even for input, we think that can be dramatically increased to the gigabit plus level. And a lot of the thinking that we do
You can increase the data rate of my eyeballs?
is we take a concept in our mind and we compress that into a small number of symbols. So when you're trying to communicate with somebody else, you're actually trying to model their mind state, and then take perhaps quite a complex idea that you have, maybe even a complex image or scene or kind of mental video, and try to compress that into a few words or a few keystrokes. And it's necessarily going to be very lossy. Your ability to communicate is very limited by how fast you can talk and how fast you can type. And what we're talking about is unlocking that potential to enable you to communicate, like I said, thousands, perhaps millions of times faster than is currently possible. This is an incredibly profound breakthrough. This would be a fundamental change to what it means to be a human. So we're starting off with reducing human suffering. So we're addressing issues that people have, say if they've been in an accident or they have some neural disease that's degenerative, so they're losing capability to move their body, or some kind of injury, essentially.
Okay.
So enabling, our first product is called telepathy, and that enables someone who has lost the ability to command their body to be able to communicate with a computer and move the mouse and actually operate a computer with roughly the same dexterity, ultimately much more dexterity than a human with working hands. Then our next product is blind sight, which will enable those who have total loss of vision, including if they've lost their eyes or the optic nerve, or maybe have never seen, who are even blind from birth, to be able to see again. Initially low resolution, but ultimately very high resolution, and then in multiple wavelengths. So you could be like Geordi LaForge in Star Trek, and you can see in radar, you can see in infrared, ultraviolet, superhuman capabilities.
Okay.
Cybernetic enhancement, essentially.
Jeez.
And then along the way, this should help us understand a lot more about consciousness. What does it mean to be a conscious creature? We'll understand vastly more about the nature of consciousness as a result of this. And then ultimately, I think this helps mitigate the civilizational risk of artificial intelligence.
Thank God.
We are actually already, we already sort of have 3 layers of thinking. There's the limbic system, which is your kind of your instincts, your cortical system, which is your higher level planning and thinking, and then your tertiary layer, which is the computers and machines that you interact with, like your phone, all the applications you use.
Never mind.
So people actually are already a cyborg. You can maybe have an intuitive sense for this by how much you miss your phone if you leave it behind. Leaving your phone behind is it's almost like missing limb syndrome. Your phone is somewhat of an extension of yourself, as is your computer. So you already have this digital tertiary layer, but the bandwidth between your cortex and your digital tertiary layer is limited by speech and by how fast you can move your fingers and how fast you can consume information visually. So, but I think it's actually very important for us to address that input-output bandwidth constraint in order for the collective will of humanity to match the will of artificial intelligence.
Okay.
That's my intuition, at least. So, let's see. And what this presentation is mostly about is attracting smart humans to come and work with us on this problem. So this is not a presentation to raise money or anything like that. We're actually very well funded. We have a lot of great investors. Some of the smartest people in the world are invested in Neuralink. But we need smart humans to come here and help solve this problem. So with that, let's proceed.
Yes.
Hey everyone, my name is DJ. I'm a co-founder and president of Neuralink. And as Elon mentioned, well, actually, we're standing in the middle of our robot space. We have a stage set up, but this is actually where
I want big balls.
Some of the next generation, most advanced surgical robots are being built. So welcome to our space. It's important to highlight that this technology is not being built in the dark. This is not a secret lab where we're not sharing any of the progress. In fact, we're actually sharing the progress very openly, and as well as also telling you exactly what we're going to be doing. And we're hoping to progress on that as diligently and as safely and as carefully as possible. So to start off, 2 years ago when we did our previous fundraising round, we outlined this path and timeline to first human. And we currently have a clinical trials in the US for a product that we call telepathy, which allows users to control phone or computer purely with their thoughts. And you're going to see how we do this and what the impact that this has had. And not only have we launched this clinical trial, but as of today, we have not just 1, but 7 participants, and we have an approval.
Clapper.
And we also have an approval to launch this trial in Canada, UK, and the UAE.
Clapper.
So I guess before we dive into what this technology is and what we built, but I wanted to quickly share a video with you guys of when our first 5 participants met each other for the first time. So here you go.
All right, we have everyone together.
What's up, guys?
Thanks everybody for joining. Definitely want to introduce all of you.
Yeah, I'm Nolan, aka P1.
My name's Alex. I am the second participant in the Neuralink study.
I am Brad Smith, the ALS cyborg P3.
My name is Mike, G4, have ALS like Brad does.
Yeah, I'm RJ, I'm P5, and I guess I'm kind of the newest one to the team here, so yeah, appreciate it, Nolan, trailblazer. You know, somebody's got to go first, man. That was you. Appreciate that.
What's been your favorite thing you've been able to do with the Neuralink so far?
I've just had a good time being able to use it as I travel, flying and drawing a little mustache on a cat. Had a lot of fun doing that. I mean, I've just had a good time playing around with it. Oh, you know what? I do know what my favorite BCI feature is. Probably not a feature, but I love WebGrid more than I love anything in my life, probably. I think I could play that game nonstop forever.
Has to be Fusion 360. Being able to design parts, design the hat logo with the BCI.
Oh, that's what's up.
Pretty sweet.
That's sweet. Yeah.
Yep. I have a little Arduino that takes input from my quad stick, converts it into a PPM signal to go to a RC truck.
Cool.
Little rock crawler. Well,
Cool.
with the BCI, I wrote code to drive the plane with the quad stick.
That's awesome.
The best thing I like about Neuralink is being able to continue to provide for my family and continue working.
I think my favorite
Show me
thing is
how it
probably...
works. I want to see something.
I do a thing.
Now, one of the major figure of merits that we have is to keep track of monthly hours of independent BCI use. Effectively, are they using the BCI? And not at the clinic, but at their home. And what we have noticed, and this is a plot of all of the different participants, first 5 participants, and their usage per month over the course of the last year and a half. And we're averaging around 50 hours a week of usage, and in some cases, peak usage of more than 100 hours a week, which is pretty much every waking moment.
Clapper.
So I think it's been incredible to see all of our participants demonstrating greater independence through their use of BCI. Not only that, we've also accelerated our implantation cadence as we've amassed evidence of both clinical safety as well as value to our participants.
You
So
can't be
to
down
date,
there.
we have 4 spinal cord injury participants as well as 3 ALS participants, with the last 2 surgeries happening within 1 week of each other.
Clapper.
And we're just beginning. This is just tip of the iceberg. Our end goal is to really build a whole brain interface. And what do we mean by whole brain interface? We mean being able to listen to neurons everywhere, be able to write information to neurons anywhere, be able to have that fast data wireless transfer to enable that high bandwidth connection from our biological brain to the external machines, and be able to do all of this with fully automated surgery, as well as enable 24 hours of usage. And towards that goal, we're really working on 3 major product types. Elon mentioned earlier that our goal is to build a generalized input-output platform and technology to the brain. So for the output portion of it, which is extremely slow through our meat sticks, as Elon calls them, meat hands that are holding the mics, we're starting out with helping people with movement disorders, either through where they lost the mind-body connection, either through a spinal cord injury, ALS, or stroke, be able to regain some of that digital as well as physical independence through a product that we're building called telepathy. And this is our opportunities to build a high-channel read and output device. On the input side of things, there's opportunities for us to help people that have lost the ability to see, be able to regain that sight again through a product that we're calling Blind Sight. And this is our opportunity to build high-channel write capabilities. And last but not least, be able to also help people that are suffering from neurological debilitating dysregulation or psychiatric conditions or neuropathic pain by inserting our electrodes in reaching any brain regions to be able to insert them not just on the cortical layer, but into the sulci as well as deeper parts of the brain, the so-called limbic system, to really enable better opportunities to just regain some of that independence. Our North Star metrics is 1, increasing the number of neurons that we can interface with, and 2nd, to expand to many diverse areas, any parts of the brain, starting with microfabrication or lithography to change the way in which we can actually increase the number of neurons that we can see from a single channel, and also doing mixed signal chip design to actually increase the physical channel count, to increase more neurons that we can interface to sort of allow more information from the brain to the outside world. And then everything we built from day 1 of the company has always been read and write capable. And with telepathy, our first product, the focus has been on the read capabilities or the output. And we want to hone in on our write capability and also show that through accessing deeper regions within the visual cortex, that we can actually achieve functional vision. through what the product evolution is going to look like in the next 3 years. Today, what we have is 1,000 electrodes in the motor cortex, the small part of the brain that you see in this animation called the hand knob area, that allows participants to control computer cursors as well as gaming consoles. Next quarter, we're planning to implant in the speech cortex to directly decode attentive words from brain signals to speech. And in 2026, not only are we going to triple the number of electrodes from 1,000 to 3,000 for more capabilities, we're planning to have our first blind sight participant to enable navigation. And in 2027, we're going to...
Show me, I want to see something working now. Show me.
What's up, guys? My name is Sahaj.
I just said that. I'm sorry.
I'm from the brain-computer interface team here at Neuralink.
Yes.
And I'm going to be talking about two things today. The first thing is, what exactly is a Neuralink device capable of doing right now? And the second one is, how does that actually impact the day-to-day lives of our users? Very simply put, what the Neuralink device does right now is it allows you to control devices simply just by thinking. Now, to put that a bit more concretely, I'm about to play a video of our first user. His name is Nolan, if you remember from DJ section. And what Nolan is doing is he's looking at a normal off-the-shelf MacBook Pro. And with his Neuralink device, as you're going to see, he's going to be able to control the cursor simply with his mind, no eye tracking, no other sensors. And what's special about this particular moment is this is the first time someone is using a Neuralink device to fully control their cursor. This is not your ordinary brain-controlled cursor. This is actually a record-breaking control, literally on day one, beating decades of brain-computer research. And I'm about to show you the clip. On day one, Nolan breaking the BCI world record.
Whoa! He's beat the world record.
Oh shit. Yeah. Congrats.
Oh, well done, man. Well done.
Wait, what I meant?
He's a new world record holder.
Oh, no way. The first day.
There's all the confetti.
Yes. This was a surprise. This one for 1 of 5.
I thought it was higher. I thought I would have to get to 5 or something. Oh my gosh.
Listen, I'm happy for you. Can we see this working, please?
Crazy.
What?
It's pretty cool.
Most of that video didn't even have the cursor on the screen.
Yeah, another really fun thing you could do with the Neuralink device outside of
Are you serious right now?
Controlling a computer cursor is you could actually plug it in through USB through a lot of different devices. And here we actually have Nolan playing Mario Kart. Now, what's special about this particular clip is Nolan is not the only cyborg playing Mario Kart in this clip. We actually have a whole community of users, as mentioned earlier, and this is literally 5 of our first users of Neuralink playing Mario Kart together over call. Now, yeah, Mario Kart it's cool. You know, you're using one joystick and then you're clicking like a couple buttons to throw items. What would be even cooler is what if you could control 2 joysticks at once, simultaneously with your mind. What I'm about to show you, and I think this is for the first time someone playing a first-person shooter game with a brain-computer interface. This is Alex and RJ playing Call of Duty, controlling one joystick to move and then the other joystick to, like, point your gun and then shooting people as a button. Here's...
I just want to say that if this was a George Soros-funded project, every single conservative would say we are literally implanting brain chips into people from the same guy who owns companies that do satellite stuff that can beam instructions down to anybody on the planet, and then we're training people with ALS to become super soldiers in FPS with brain chips that are like, just saying, you know.
Here's Alex shooting another person.
Right. Oh, dear God.
Holy shit!
Whoa, no.
It's my CSGO teammates. Just...
I know, dude. I want him to freaking shoot. He won't. When I do. RJ, Alex got you. I know, dude. Shot me in the face.
Now that we have a bit of a sense of what the BCI can do, a very important question to answer is...
Listen. If I could see... Okay, let me just... This is... Okay, careful. My shit is so outdated. I think I was searching for, like, brain control tech, like, 10 years ago on the internet. It's like, oh, shit, this stuff has, like, come really far, like, controlling limbs and everything. And what I found out when I looked it up, this was, like, 10 or 15 years ago, every single brain-controlled device was, in actuality, like, somebody got, like, their fucking hand chopped off, and they would just, like, attach a thing here that could detect, like, fine motor movements here from the neurons in your arm. It wasn't actually, there was no like brain connecting shit. It was just reading the activity of the tendons in your arm that, you know, you had a missing fucking hand, and then it would translate that into movements, which is cool, I guess. It's not really like a brain connection. If they truly have a microchip in their brain that with absolutely no muscular input whatsoever can move a cursor on a screen with a high degree of accuracy and precision, that would be like the coolest fucking thing in the world. I just want to show me like 5 minutes of that. I just want to see 5 minutes of that without any other part of their body moving or anything else. Because this...
Here's Alex shooting another person.
Oh,
this is
God.
not... hold on.
I don't know, dude. I want him to freaking shoot you wrong when I do.
RJ, Alex got you.
This is not real. This is not happening on their mind. That they are moving multiple joysticks simultaneously and can
shot me in the face.
And moving a D-pad or whatever, like running. This is not happening with just a brain. I don't believe that. There's 0% chance that this is happening without any type of physical input anywhere. If it is, this is the coolest thing in the universe. But show me, like, maybe it'll be in this video. I can't believe I'm wasting my time watching this. I'm just gonna be disappointed. I know I am.
Now that we have a bit of a sense of what the BCI can do, a very important question to answer is, how does this impact the day-to-day lives of the people that use it every day?
How about, can we just show this like for real working? For real? Like...
So I'm about to show you a clip, going back to Nolan for a second, where he talks. We simply just asked him randomly during a day how he enjoys using the BCI a couple months ago. And this is his candid reaction.
I work basically all day from when I wake up. I'm trying to wake up at like 6 or 7 a.m. and I'll do work until session. I'll do session.
Maybe I'm like critical in a way that maybe people that understand this better just aren't, because it's like I have like my issue is retarded and it's not actually related to this. But like if I can't see a full shot of the body, I'm not trusting it. I don't know if he's like doing something with his fingers over here to like maneuver it a little bit, or because why like pull back a little bit more, zoom out, show me the hand. Why is the hand hidden over here? Ugh.
Wake up. I'm trying to wake up at like 6 or 7 a.m. and I'll do work until session. I'll do session and then I'll work until, you know.
Also, we have a full shot of the monitor right here. Why do you don't have to put a second overlay up?
11, 12 p.m. or 12 a.m.
Wow.
I'm doing, like, I'm learning my languages. I'm learning my math. I'm like relearning all of my math. I am writing. I am doing a class that I signed up for. And I wanted to point out that like this is not something I would be able to do out